Sometimes you just can't tell. Is a guy genuinely nice and does he really like you? Or is this all just a big act and he's actually a huge player? Well guys, today I'm gonna let you in on some signs of how to tell if a guy is actually super into you or if he's nothing but a player. First, you know there's always that one guy, the one who hangs out with a lot of women. While there's nothing wrong with having a couple of close female friends, there also is a bit of a line here, guys. So what's the good side of the line? Let's check out Ed Sheeran here. Just look at how he's standing with his female friends. Even when they're touching, it's in a completely harmless way. Now he's a guy who has endless famous and female friends, and he adorably shows us that he can make platonic friendships last. His BFF friendship with Taylor Swift proves that just because you're hanging out with a girl doesn't mean you're really doing more than just being friends. Like in this first photo, his facial expression tells it all. They're literally just buddies. And here, even though they're touching, you can really tell that the two of them are just friends hanging out. And this one is such a cute, friendly pose. Now, who do you ask is on the bad side of the line? Well, check out this well-known ladies' man, Leonardo DiCaprio. Look at how comfortable he is in these photos. He's surrounded by all these beautiful ladies and he's totally holding court. He's not uncomfortable at all. A lot of yachting, a lot of ladies, but guys, not a lot of clothes. And look at how he's looking at the girls in bikinis. He's even making out with one of them. So you might want to watch next time you're around a guy you like. If he has this many girls crowded around him, he's looking flirty but totally comfortable, this guy might definitely be a player. Now next there's the guy that always seems to know exactly what to say.
I feel like I'm in a cartoon in which someone's about to get seduced.
Not me.
Maybe
I'm
me.
a very good girl.
Are you good? I don't think God would give you that body and then give you sort of morality.
Stop.
It seems like all the players kind of have this trait in common, like they always know exactly what to say to melt your heart. So watch here as Justin Bieber flirts with his fans and he doesn't even stumble over any of his words. Notice how he's completely cool as a cucumber, and look at how he even whispers in the fan's ear before spinning her around, and then he gets even flirtier. So whatever he's saying to her, it clearly works, and see how quick he is to sneak in a cheeky kiss on the cheek with his frenzied fans. So next time you're with a guy, watch for this really carefully. If his conversation seems more like lines than natural conversation, like Bieber, he's a smooth talker and he's also probably a player. Now you probably also know a guy who seems to be connected with like every single girl in school. And while he might be way too young to have a lot of lengthy relationships behind him, never mind a marriage, if he has a lot of short-term relationships under his belt, this is definitely not a good sign. You might know the character Barney STINSON in How I Met Your Mother, and this is the recap of all the women that he's ever been with.
Teachers, poets, doctors, professional equestrians, amateur equestrians, a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker. Yes, we're to the rhyming section now. A math professor, a tax assessor, a weight guesser.
And watch carefully how his body language says he's almost proud of that long list. The worst part, guys, in my opinion, is that he doesn't even use names to describe the girls at all because he honestly doesn't care about who they actually are as people. So take stock of the guys in your life and really think about if they're jumping from crush to crush or if they have a long list of short-term relationships, because if they do, they might definitely be a player. Now, before we get on to the next signs, if you guys have made it this far in the video, it's a really great time to hit that subscribe button right there on the screen. By subscribing, you're signing up for weekly relationship videos, vlogs, and Q&As, which we do here every single week. Next, you know he's a player for sure if he ever does anything like this.
I have to apologize.
Whether he forgets your name, calls you by the wrong name, or can't introduce you to someone because he really seems to be struggling, this is a sign that he's finding it hard to keep up because there's so many girls on his radar, or simply that you're not his actual crush.
Hi, Ross. Take the Emily. Take the Rachel.
So if you're dating him and he ever has a slip up like this, there's a huge chance that he could be a player. Now look closely at these DMs, apparently between James Franco and a 17-year-old girl. He asks her if she has a boyfriend before continuing to question her, and look how he doesn't even wait for her responses. This guy is literally just trying to score. Now Mike Epps didn't even try to hide his attempt to slide into the DMs of his Twitter female fan. He's so unapologetic here, it's crazy, and he doesn't even ask, he just commands. I should also mention he was married at the time, this is very, very cagey. So if a guy is being extremely pushy like this with you on social media, there's a huge chance that he could be a player. Now guys, being from Toronto, I totally love Drake, but if a guy's social media posts are really posed and mostly consist of him being shirtless, there's a really good chance he's just using it to attract girls. He's wearing these pants to obviously draw attention even further than his abs. We see the Calvin's Drake, but we also see your thirst trap. And here he's again, also shirtless. And again, and again. In fact, guys, there's so many shirtless posts of Drake that I could probably fill the rest of this video with just his shirtless posts. When a guy's Instagram looks more like a modeling portfolio than a depiction of real life, it's probably more of a way to meet girls en masse, and therefore, this guy is probably a player. Now, contrary to what you might think, a guy's reputation also says a lot. So if you've heard stories that the guy is a player, then you might want to avoid him. Johnny Depp is a really good example, guys. He's dated everyone from his co-star on Edward Scissorhands, Winona Ryder, to supermodel Kate Moss. And he's been married several times and has gone through some really toxic public breakups. Now, John Mayer's friend Melissa Lefton said this about him. John basically has two personalities, the romantic sweet good guy you hear in his songs and the player who loves him and leaves him. She also revealed that the guy has it all so he can get away with murder. Of course, maybe the guy's been truly reformed, as John Mayer claims to be.
Oh man, the first time somebody misunderstands you and says you're a womanizer.
You don't consider yourself a womanizer?
No.
But see how in this interview he says that he was misunderstood and he just shrugs his shoulders as if he's just shrugging off that reputation. So be extra careful, guys. If he has a reputation for being a player in the past, chances are he could very well be a player now. Now let's talk about pet names. Pet names in and themselves are not a bad thing. Actually, they can be quite cute. I love when Nathan calls me honey.
Oh, honey.
Have you ever seen or heard a guy call you princess or some other name in the first 5 minutes of a conversation? Sometimes nicknames do feel gross. Take Charlie Sheen and his goddesses.
Sheen calls them his goddesses, and their exploits have been fodder for print, TV, and online tabloids around the world.
Charlie's actually proud to have 2 women and not even given them their own identity. He even says, "Who's got it better than me?"
Who's got it better than me?
The point is, if a guy is super quick to call you something like goddess or princess, even though you barely know each other, it's a recycled pet name and it's also a huge sign that he's a player. Guys, you know me as a relationship expert, I love a good gift, something thought out and super meaningful. But when a guy starts giving gifts really super early, I always know something is up. It's like too much too soon, and it's usually extremely impersonal. Feels a bit like they're trying to buy someone's attention. Instead of this jewelry like Cardi B, I'd honestly prefer this giant block of cheese like Chrissy Teigen got from her husband, singer John Legend. This is super thoughtful, meaningful, and also freaking hilarious. So if a guy is practically throwing expensive gifts at girls from the get-go, he's likely a big old player. Now, you've probably seen that guy at the gym who watches himself in the mirror so closely that it's actually like a little bit creepy, right? Now, I'm not trying to sound mean here, but guys who do that probably only have room in their lives for one person right now, and it's probably themselves. Liam Hemsworth enjoys devoting time and money to charitable organizations, and you can even see him helping disaster victims. Men like this usually have a really strong internal foundation, and they understand the bigger picture when it comes to life. If a guy acts completely opposite of this and his only world consists of gym, tanning, and laundry, then you know he's probably honestly a little bit of a player.
Gym, tanning, laundry?
Guys, we like a guy who's open with his feelings. We like a guy who's not afraid to show us that he likes us. But when he starts saying the love word about right away, that's gonna be a huge dislike from me. Why? Because it's not genuine. A player knows that a girl loves to hear she's loved. And although it does happen sometimes, falling in love within the first day or two is super rare.
I love you.
This is Lil Wayne with some of his rumored conquests. Of course, he's got his cool guy swag going on as always, but he doesn't seem too bothered by who's by his side in some of these shots. Look really closely at his close body contact. All of these women are hanging on to Lil Wayne, not the other way around. But Lil Wayne is known to profess his love to girls, text women messages all night, and then just as easily disappear on them. So even though he might be genuinely telling these girls that he loves them right away, it could also just be a move out of his playbook. So remember guys, look out for anyone who takes the L word lightly because it's a good sign that he actually is a player. Now, in an interview with Maxim, Charlie Sheen estimated he's been with over 5,000 women. Oh my god, this is actually so gross. Simon Cowell apparently claims over 2,000, and the same for Lamar Odom and Eastman Dustin Diamond from the old TV show Saved by the Bell. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so gross. I'm not really sure why, but players are truly proud of being players. I don't think it's anything to be proud of, but at least they're letting us know in advance. A player wants everyone to know he's popular with girls, so if he's a player, he is going to be puzzlingly proud. Now let's take a look at 50 Cent. There's a whole host of rappers we could choose from for this point, but some of 50 Cent's rumored conquests include Kim Kardashian, Lindsay Lohan, Naomi Campbell, and even Beyonce. His lyrics, well, most of them are literally too rude to show here.
See, this is when you try to get me to talk dirty, but I'm not gonna do that.
So if a guy you like posts about girls on social media, talks about girls during class, and can't stop trash talking about women, then there is no denying that this guy is definitely a player. Now there's nothing wrong with a dirty joke or two sometimes, but players just love them.
I find Catherine very attractive. Then when she said exchange numbers, I thought things that I'd like to exchange with her.
If he makes dirty jokes right out of the gate, then this guy is most definitely a player. Now guys, remember that infamous scene in Friends? Now whether you agree that Ross cheated or not, it's actually the line that Rachel's mom says about being a cheater.
She was all, once a cheater, always a cheater.
And look at his face as soon as the conversation started. He knew where it was going. Ross looks so guilty. There's an interesting phenomenon that happens when a player actually gets into a relationship. They're still gonna be a player, but then what happens is that they become a cheater too. So if a guy has cheated on anyone he's ever dated, he probably is a major player. Now, if you watch this whole video and you're still not sure if your crush likes you or if he's just a player, it's time to take the official quiz. This quiz is designed to give you answers on how your crush actually feels about you. Is he a player or is he secretly into you? To take the exclusive quiz, go to the button on my channel that says join. We've worked really hard to make this one of the best membership sections on YouTube, so come over and join the party. It is so much fun over here. Once inside, you'll have access to exclusive Q&As with me every single Friday, and I go into a lot more depth in these Q&As than I typically do on YouTube, so it's a lot of fun and it's a great way to connect with you guys. So you can have the answers that you need to make decisions right now. I can't wait to see you guys over there. Guys, I hope you loved this video. Don't forget to subscribe here to Ask Kimberly for more weekly awesome content. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week for another video all about relationships. Bye, guys.